know what it is, but whatever it is, it's better than that. But X doesn't only mean unknown in mathematics. X is also the multiplication sign, ain't it? It increases the power. It makes one thing act upon another to increase the power of both of them. Better watch this X now. When you type it and you make an error, you get rid of the error by Xing it out, don't you? You and I have suffered in such a way, you know, when there's a disaster and they find a bunch of bodies and they can't identify them, they call them X1, X2, X3, X4. That's how you identify victims of a disaster when you don't know who they are. So here we are, don't know who we are. Have we been the victims of a disaster? Are we still going through a disaster? And we don't know who we are we? So instead of X1 and X2, we're 2X and 3X. Praise is due to Allah. You know, again, when you're trying to see the condition of the body, and you need to know what's going on inside. Out of all of the gamma rays and the beta rays and all of that, when you want to get into something and see through something, you use an X-ray, don't you? It's the only ray that you can use that will let you get to the actual inside and see things as they are. You don't have to guess anymore. That X opens your eyes. And when everybody see you with an X, they start shaping up. Oh, I got to be cool. This one sees me. You know, you hear Minister Farrakhan sometimes talk about how when we were, you know, with some of the Hebrew nation, you know, a lot, and he was saying that, hey, you know, Hebrew, that refers to all of us. Because Hebrew means crossing over. When you get to a railroad crossing, what do you see? You see a pedestrian crossing, what do you see? X. X is the sign of a crossing. Oh, this is a heavy name you're getting, brother and sister. You never denigrate that X talking about I ain't got nothing but an X. You don't respect it, but the world respects it. And the enemy shakes in his boots. Time another X roll off the assembly, like, oh God, I lost another nigga. You used to see them old cowboy movies and things and see the draft beer and see the X's on the barrel. That meant that the duty, the taxes had been paid. Have we paid our dues? All right. Now, all y'all learn Roman numerals.
Yes, sir.
How much is that?
10.
You talk about somebody being good, tough, beautiful, everything. What's the highest you can be? You're a 10, ain't you? Can't get no better than an X. You can't get no better than a 10. And in conclusion, that X is the sign of what you and I all need to bind us together. When you write a letter and you close it out and you put those X's down there, you're sealing it with a kiss, a sign of love. Is that right? Yes. That's what Master Farad Muhammad came for, to unite us in love with one another, to take our love away from the one who doesn't deserve it. Give it to those who do deserve it. That's not hate, that's lack of love. You don't have to hate somebody, you don't have to just forget them. Get them out your mind, forget them. Give all your love to the ones who deserve it, who've been through the same thing you've been through. We've been through the same misery at the hands of the same enemy. There's no reason for us not to love each other except that we have been taught not to love each other. We've been taught to love the very one who got the foot on our neck. Instead of biting his toe, we lick his boots. Praise is due to Allah. So the next time somebody asks you what's in a name, tell them, that's right, everything, sister. You said, I started to say plenty, but you write everything. Everything is right in that name. If you take any name of anything or anybody and trace it down, you'll know everything about it. You really examine that name. Okay? And so, whatever, now don't argue with anybody. Don't go out and get in a fist fight talking about, yeah, man, see, you got that old slave name and blah, blah, blah. If they argue with you, just forget it. Okay? Call them what they want to be called. If somebody is content being on the plantation, wave as you go by. I'm very serious. When that one little course I took in journalism, the first thing they taught us was, after they taught us about how to avoid lawsuits, this first thing they teach you in journalism is journalism law, But the second thing that they teach you is the most important thing to people is their name. And that's why they teach any journalist, do not misspell a person's name. Ask them, spell it for me. And then when you spell it back to them and say, is that what you said? Because I don't care how good a story you write about them, if you misspell their names, they are mad. Right? So people's names, whatever they are very important to them. So don't go out here running out attacking folks' names. Bring them where you learned it. Go in, do your research, and let them study with you and all of that. But don't go out and attack people on their name. But whatever you want to be called, you introduce yourself to me, I'm calling you that. Unless it's something, way out that I can't say. But, we got some folks who are that crazy, That's true. Brothers and sisters, really. I just digress, just 30 seconds. I was on the board at a health center for many years. And as a board member, I wasn't privy to all of the medical records because there's a law that covers that. But they had me to resign from the board and become the director. Once I became the director, as the head of the staff, I had access to everything. So the medical records director told me, she said, I've just been laying. She said, I knew you would appreciate this. I've been laying to show you these medical records. It was a poor sister who had twins. And because she did not know the language very well, she had this little boy and little girl that she had named gonorrhea and syphilis. And when you read it, it was gonorrhea and syphilis. She did not know it. I hope and pray Allah they changed their name. But my daughter, a few years later, was working for some politician and ran into their aunt. They hadn't changed it then. They were almost in their teens. But, whatever they call themselves, that's what you got to call. I knew a sister in Atlanta who had one of the biggest record shops in the Black Belt. You go by there and you see it. Rubella's record shop. We used to see it. She knew what it meant. She never did change it. She said, her mama saw the word and didn't know it meant measles. So she named her Rubella. And that's the name she stuck with. And it sounds pretty. That's why mama liked it. But it means measles, But whatever people want to be called, you call them that. Do not get in an argument with them because, just like if I look on a map and I see Biloxi, to me, that looks like Biloxi. But see, if I talk to somebody from there, I get that. That's Biloxi. Anybody from Mississippi tell you that. Biloxi, right? Right. Okay. If you go down here in Southern Illinois, I saw Reverend Charles Corn last night. Yeah, he's from Cairo. Now, if Allah bless me, sometime this year, I'll be going over in Egypt, and they call it Cairo. But it's Cairo here, and it's Cairo in Georgia. Okay? But I'm not going down in Cairo and telling people, hey, you don't know what you're doing. This is Cairo. No, this is Cairo. I don't care what that is over there. This is Cairo, that. Now, Houston is Houston in Texas, where Sam Houston came from. But if you go to Georgia and go to that county with the same name, it's Houston. You go to New York and go to the county with the same, it's Houston. Which really looks more popular. I mean more proper. H-O-U-S is house. So that's why they did that. But the man's name was Sam Houston. You can't tell him what his name was. So it's Houston. All right? All praise is due to Allah. So brothers and sisters, we thank you for your kind attention, and we hope and pray Allah that you will seriously consider that name situation. Because even in the book of Revelations, it talks about the fact that all who have the name of the beast shall go down with the beast. Now that's something. It doesn't say you have to have anything else. But if you got his name, whither he goeth, thou goest. Okay? Wherever he's headed for. Now you watch whatever kind of name you got. You got a Spanish name, check South America. But if you got an English name, you better check England and North America. Okay? Whatever kind of name you got, you better watch the people that you got it from. Because wherever they headed, you on the train with them. So that's why I got off, all praises due to Allah, and got on another train. And all I can say to all of y'all who ain't on it yet, get on board, little children. There's room for many more. Praises due to Allah. Very good. Just got a note from the National Secretary saying that Brother Benny has a very, very important mission. So I ain't going to take up no more time, because it's truly important. Something that we need to do, and it's no secret, it's going to take up some money. And you can't do that in secret unless you can pick pockets off for good. So, no, whenever one of the things about black folks, and I'm saying, brothers and sisters, just because we got these X's and got these Muhammads and these Zakirs and all, we're still Negroes trying to learn to be Muslims. I mean, we got those names to try to give us something to shoot at, because we ain't hardly there, And just like all the rest of our people, when we get our eyes set on this big goal, we forget about the day-to-day activity. That's why you find before we came in the nation, I mean, we would get behind in rent, be dodging credit, buying for Christmas. I mean, that's unrealistic. That's a dream world. Whatever you spot, if you say, yeah, I'm going to buy me a Rolls Royce, plan for it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you can see your way clear and say, in the next 5 years, I'm going to have enough money to pay cash for me a Rolls, fine. But pay your bills today. Don't take this money that you owe today for your rent, your food, your clothing, and then you go, hey, I got to save all my money because I want a Rolls. You ain't going to be there to ride in the Rolls. You understand? No, so we got to be realistic. So we have to be snatched back to reality every now and then. So what Brother Benny is going to do is remind us that while we're on this vaunted charge, don't forget, we got to keep our base solid. We can't be taking everything and just dumping it in. We're supposed to do that in addition. This is what sacrifice means. This is what charity is all about. It's not about saying, well, I wasn't going to do nothing with this anyway, so here it is. That ain't no charity. The word charity means love. You don't give somebody you love something you didn't want in the first place or something you didn't need. You share with them that which you want for yourself. As the Prophet Muhammad said, a Muslim is not a Muslim till he first loves for his brother that which he loves for himself. See? Jesus said, love thy neighbor as thyself. Everybody agrees on that. See? If you love somebody as yourself, that means you share what you want. You share what you need with them. You don't just say, let's see what I got spare, what I got extra. Ain't no extra. I ain't never seen no extra money in my life myself. I can tell you. So you wait me to give us some extra money, boy. You be waiting a long time. No, I got to dig and shuffle. I've heard of it, but I ain't never seen none. So, brothers and sisters, thank you for your kind attention. And please remember, keep in mind, Stony Island. If you got friends who may not know the value of it and everything, just tell them, hey, give you some money to help you with something that you're interested in, and then you go ahead and bring it or send it in. But you know what it's for, you know what we're doing, and look, not only Chicago, America will never be the same once we get back where we belong. Brothers and sisters, thank you very much for your kind attention. May Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
People, if you're going to wear the X today on your cap or on your chest, you must understand the X, brothers and sisters. You must understand the X. These ministers that you have heard here today, we all, and these sisters that you see sitting before you, we all have had the X experience. We are experienced. You just got excited and you're wearing the X externally, but you must wear the X internally. All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. When you wear the X, it has nothing to do with movie acting. When you wear the X, there's nothing to play with today. X means ex-Negro. X means ex-fool and tool. And it was the most honorable Elijah Muhammad who we pay tribute and honor to this Savior's Day, his birthday, October 7th, who took the X from a man named Malcolm Little, who was a little man, and made him a big man and put the X on him, which nullified his slave past. All praise is due to Allah. Don't just get excited. You've got to be able to properly express yourself, but you can't do it unless you've had experience. So I want to speak to you from experience, because we are real members of the true X-Clan. All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. This is the real X-Clan. We used to sing the song in the church, there's a man going around taking names. There's a man going around taking names. And that man going around taking names is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And the man fulfilling his work, carrying on, making, as our national spokesman always says, Minister Dr. Alim, making his word bond. That man who is doing that is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. If we're going to make movies, we can't make movies and then take the X, as I saw on TV a week ago, and shape the X with the red, white, and blue like an American flag. This is no movie acting. But if you have not had the X experience, then you don't know what I'm expressing to you. Don't just wear the X externally. Come in and wear the X internally. Wear the X in your mind. Wear the X in your heart. Ex-drug dealer. Ex-dealer of dope to our people. Ex-murderer of black people in black-on-black crime. Ex-disrespecter and abuser and misuser of the black woman. Ex-wino. The X must be worn internally, not just externally. If you're going to make movies today, after the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught us for all this time, and now his son, his true spiritual son, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has come up. You've got to make new movies today.